Alright, so how's everything working? Perfectly good? Let's see, is it streaming? Yes. Hello? Alright. So, on the shutdown, here's my view on the shutdown. And, it's particularly authoritative, as you'll notice probably. Um, okay, first of all, a shutdown is objectively bad, right? So, I mean, I'm not sure that the Democratic Party feels this way. Um, to a certain degree, I think they may, but I think, largely if they could know that it would be blamed on the other side, then they're likely to think that, it's good for them if it was blamed on the other side. I believe it's objectively bad, right? The CDC is one that always worries me. This time, I guess it's kept running a little bit, but I'm always concerned about the CDC. That's an organization of the government that needs to run continuously. To lose track for a second, to have to shut down for a second, sort of defeats, there's longer term effects, defeats the entire purpose for some extended period of time. So I'm inclined to go ahead and make a trade. Now, I did the calculation, and it's like $15 a person. $5 billion is $15 a person, a citizen. There's only about a third of those pay taxes, according to what I looked up. I'm not sure how accurate that is because, in a way, everybody pays sales taxes and stuff. So I'm not sure that's accurate. But in that case, it'd be like $45 or $50 per taxpayer. And if I'm average or above average, it's, I don't know, from 20 or 30 to $100 or something. Now, because the shutdown is objectively bad, and I care about that, I would say, it's worth it making a deal for that for $5 billion. Now, I think you have to get something back. So if we could get a DACA deal, I think that would be reasonable. He's already got a bunch of billion that he hasn't even spent yet. And I don't really think that if we gave him $5.6 billion that it would, I think it would be just soaked up. I think architectural firms and studies would soak all that money up. And, well, just giving him the money is like, why do that? Well, because the government could be started up again. Well, there's no reason to be desperate about that. It's not the end of the world right away, and you can't have people in the presidency, in the White House, thinking that they can just get whatever they want. Be like, hey, we're going to make the whole government hold its breath so we can have whatever we want. We don't want to make that a tradition. So push comes to shove, yeah, don't give in, I guess, because it's the hard way. But really, I mean, I'd be willing to give in, do something he can say, look, we get to build a wall. The wall's going to be a lot more than 5 billion. It's going to be 25, or if it's made out of steel, it's going to be 105. $1 billion. We just gave 80 billion more to the military this year. It was already the strongest military in the world, so could probably survive a bunch of different things like that. We could probably survive spending 400 or at least 200 billion on whatever we wanted if we just, spent 500 billion on the military. Um, It's like that guy said, you know, a billion here, a billion there, and pretty soon you're talking about real money. So, anyway, I'd be willing for a deal, but I definitely don't want the Democrats to just give in, right? To just be panicked about it. Because as bad as a government shutdown is, you can't let a bully, you know, run things because he's like, oh, I'm playing chicken and I actually don't care. You know, I'm playing chicken and only the audience dies. If I wreck, the audience dies, not me. Yeah, so he's going to do it, but you can't just give in to someone like that. So, anyway. All right. Joseph Correa says, it's not a government shutdown, it's a partial suspension of government services. Well, partial because some things are funded until September next year. Some because we've been having shutdowns regularly. I know personally some government agencies have arranged to pay contracts in advance and get their own funding in advance. And so yeah, it's partial. But I mean, like, it's not just a liberal that should think it's important. I mean, the Border Patrol is one of the things that's partially shut down. So people that are so concerned about border security might be concerned about what's it going to be like if, you know, Trump says we could shut down for a year. So a year without border security, that's worth it. That's worth building a wall. Cutting off the current security. Oh, because it doesn't exist. No, it does exist. Whatever. The thing is, sometimes if your opponent wants to trade something fake for something real, you can go ahead and accept something real. But if they just like, hey, we want something fake and we refuse to trade anything at all, well, then you have to say, well, okay, you live in fake land. That's not happening. All right, cheers.